Hi, my name is Brittany Willis. This is my Week 7 presentation for understanding positive guidance. Before we can really understand positive guidance, it's important to talk about how children actually learn. So one way that children learn is through something called observational learning. Basically, this just means that children learn by watching the people around them and imitating those behaviors. So as a caregiver, if you know your children are going to be watching you and imitating those actions and behaviors, it's really important that you model what you want to see. If you want your child to have positive interactions, take turns, share, problem solve calmly, then those are some things that you need to model to them through interactions, language, any opportunities you can to teach those behaviors. Because children are so impressionable and do learn from your behavior, it's important to think of your response. So if adults respond in a way that is frustrated, angry, or yelling, children may be more likely to respond that way themselves if that is the kind of behavior that is being modeled to them. So it's important to make sure that all those interactions and opportunities to model behaviors are positive. It's also important to know that modeling does not work alone. So just modeling behaviors isn't going to automatically make the children do them. They need to be coupled with positive reinforcement. So when you're seeing that positive behavior, you're calling it out and in a very specific way. So praise the behavior. You can use terms like, I like how you used your words. Good job cleaning up when the timer went off. You're being very specific and praising exactly what you liked seeing. When we model these positive behaviors and we reinforce them, we're helping children learn what those behaviors look like and encouraging them to continue. So it's important to know that even when we model positive behaviors and reinforce them, there's still going to be times where we do have to deal with challenging behaviors. That's completely normal and something that is very developmentally appropriate for children of this age. As caregivers, we need to be aware of how we respond when these behaviors happen, and that leads us to two different options, punishment and guidance. So as you can see here, punishment leaves children feeling humiliated. It can lower their self-esteem, it embarrasses them, it isolates them, and it can make them feel emotionally abandoned. Punishment focuses on controlling the negative behavior, stopping it. It does focus on the negative. You're not reinforcing anything positive, and you're only correcting behaviors after they happen, so there's nothing that is proactive about punishment. On the other hand, when you use guidance, it encourages, it gives confidence, it's loving and caring, and it gives emotional support. It focuses on giving support, it encourages appropriate and positive choices, and it can be proactive, meaning you don't have to wait for the negative behaviors to happen to model the positive ones you want to see. So overall, you can see there just how heavily punishment relies on negative, and guidance really highlights the positive. I think it's also important to really remember that punishment is reactive. You are reacting to a negative thing that you don't want to happen. And you're not teaching an appropriate behavior. You're not replacing that negative behavior with anything when you are leaning into punishment. So overall, punishment really does focus more on the behavior that already happened and what happens as a result of the behavior, the consequences, while by using guidance, you're being more focused on helping the child understand the situation and learn a more appropriate way to respond and develop those skills. So now that we know a little bit about the differences between punishment and guidance, I want to talk about why positive guidance really works. So positive guidance, it helps children feel supported and included. As mentioned before, punishment can isolate a child. Positive guidance does the opposite. You cooperate with the child. It kind of creates a team mentality. We're in this together. Let's work on this together. How can we solve this problem? You build confidence. So helping them learn the skills they need to solve those problems. Instead of just focusing on what they did wrong, you're teaching them how to do something more positive. They learn to solve problems and they develop social emotional skills. So this is really important because during this time, children are in the middle of developing these. So by using positive guidance, we can really foster these skills in a much more positive way, which will really just create an environment better for all the students. And I included this quote because I really liked it from Gartrell, that he explains that when other children see guidance being used in action in the classroom, that everyone feels worthy as an individual, that they belong to a group, and they can participate in problem solving. And I think that's such an important part of positive guidance, because even when children are having that difficult moment, we can still turn the experience into a learning opportunity, into a positive moment. We can help them feel safe and supported and included while we're still figuring out these challenging behaviors. By using positive guidance, we're showing children that their mistakes are something that they can learn from, that challenges are something that they can work through, and that they're capable of growing and changing and succeeding, really. Ultimately, positive guidance helps create an environment where children feel safe, valued, and confident. And these are some of the references I used. Thank you.